welcome to Flag Etiquette's Garage, the home of random projects. We have lists, we have Jeeps, we have trucks, we have food. You name it, we got it. So help out the channel by just hitting that subscribe button. And if you like the video, go ahead and like it. And if you really like the video, like it and then tell a friend. But stay tuned, enjoy yourself. I'm gonna let you go because I got stuff to do. Hey, welcome back to Five Lakes Garage, and today we're actually going to build our giveaway. If you saw some of the other videos in the last week or so, I probably should have done this at the very beginning, but hey, I'm still new at this, and so we're going to figure it out as we go. So as everybody knows, 4th of July is actually coming up pretty soon. It's in a couple weeks. So what we want to do is actually have a giveaway for the Stars and Stripes. So what we're going to do today is actually build the Stars and Stripes. And I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and that type of stuff to actually build it correctly. There is a certain way of actually building the Stars and Stripes, the American flag. Now, we all know that it has stars and stripes and what they all mean. Well, the stripes are for all the 13 colonies, all the stars for all the states. Red is for hardness or valor. You have white, which is purity or innocence. And then you have the blue, which is vigilance and for justice. Now, if you look up inchcalculator.com, this is where I got my dimensions from. I basically have this stencil that I'm going to use for all the stars. No, I'm not going to hand print all 50 stars. I ain't got that kind of time. I'm not that big good of an artist. But we have this stencil, so I measured this out. We got 7 inches by 5 inches. I put that into the calculator, and then it gave me the entire workup of where everything's going to be. So we got 7 inches. This is going to be for the blue side. This is going to be for the stars. Each stripe is going to be 23 32s in thickness. This side here is 9.5-ish inches. Kind of round a little bit there because they did go down to like the 64th. But roughly this is 9.5 inches. This would be 17.5 inches. So it does give you every piece of dimensions that you're going to need to actually build a flag properly. So what we're going to use is some old fencing. We are part of Scouts, so we're going to be using some reused lumber. We are thrifty, that is. So I'm going to cut that down. We're going to use the table saw to rip down into strips. We're going to cut those down into small little sections. We also have the big chop saw, and we're going to use belt sanders and glue and everything like that to make this flag. So keep watching, and then maybe you can make one for yourselves. Just make sure that it is the right dimensions, the right colors. Let's get started. And the first thing we need to do is find the material. All right, so this is the board we're actually going to use. It's in okay shape. It's got a couple little imperfections in here. So what I'm going to do is actually go to the chop saw and cut off crap like this, because as soon as you rip that, that's going to fall off anyway. Cut it off. The rest of it, the nicks and the screw holes and some of that's actually going to add a little bit of character to this project. So we want to look at rustic, but we do want to make it accurate. So I'm going to go up there, chop this guy down to get rid of some of the imperfections. We're going to sand it down, and then we're going to start ripping them down on the saw. All right, so we got our boards. What we're going to do now is actually rip them down on the table saw. But first, what we're going to do is I want to cut off this section here. This is what I'm going to be painting blue. So I'm going to find a good section that doesn't have a lot of knots. So then I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to cut this out on the chop saw. So the good thing about doing it this way is that this is going to be my stars. This section here was actually going to start being my stripes. So this actually should work out pretty good. All right, so we got our table saw. I already set the blade up to 23 32s. Check it again, measure twice. All right, and that's about right. So if you actually do the math there to help you with a regular tape measure, 23 32s is roughly 3/4. Or as my buddy Dave will say, 3/4. All right. Ooh, where's my safe? There it is. Safety goggles. All right, so we basically have everything cut out the way that we need it to cut out, need it to be cut out. And this is basically what we got so far. See, the stars will be up here, obviously. And then each one of these will actually be painted individually. First, you got to sand them down. You got to make sure that they are nice and clean. So yeah, it's going to be great. All right, so that's basically the rough outline. Now it's time for a whole bunch of sanding. And I'm going to do it because I love you guys and girls. Sanding time. Where's some sander? All right, everything is sanded. I blew my nose out a few times because, yeah, I didn't put my respirator on. I figured with enough fans on it in here, it should be okay. But the rough outline is actually finished. Now the next step would actually be paint. Once we start painting it, obviously we gotta let it dry. And then the hard part is to actually put this together without having too many gaps and also squeeze it without it messing up. So we're going to do a combination of nails as well as glue, because I love glue. So anyway, this is kind of what it looks like. All right, doesn't look like much, but it will be once it is actually painted. So even left a little screw hole there for some character. So I'm going to put our stars up there. So obviously we need to paint that blue first, let that dry, and then also spray paint some white on there. We'll see how that goes. And then also just know that it starts with red and it ends with red. So red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white, blah, 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 all the way down. So make sure that we're going to be painting each one individually and then putting them together. So we're not hand painting each stripe. I think it comes out a little bit better. And also this little section here is actually this is actually going to be like simulating the pole where it's going to be standing up there. So anyway, so we're going to get this all painted and then we're going to put it together, and then it will be a finished product and it will be going out to one of you. All right, the paint is almost dry. Definitely need to put a lot of coats on there. This type of wood is actually really dry, so it is soaking up this paint like nobody's business. So I am ready to put on my stars. Now the biggest thing you need to do is make sure that that stencil is down there nice and tight. Light coats. If you put it too heavy, it's just going to bleed in. There are some stuff that you can actually put on the wood itself to help with the bleeding. But due to the fact that this is going to be a rustic type of thing, that's not the look I was going for. I don't really want to have the really sharp, crisp lines, at least on this project. If you prefer to have sharp, crisp lines, let me know. Maybe on the next one I'll put the right stuff, and I'll bring in an expert on stenciling. I've tried 3 videos to try to do one on stenciling. I need some help. But anyway, so I got my white, and I'm just gonna go ahead and paint on my stars. All right, all the paint is dry. We're time to assemble, and there's your stars. Not too bad. There's a couple little phasey ones like this one right here, but I think it'll be okay. Once we get done, we'll just spray paint it with some polyurethane to keep it fresh. But when we actually put this together, we are going to use glue, and we're also going to use some brad nails. So I got my brad nailer here. Now we're just going to use these little tiny little brads. Now we don't want, this is not really going to hold it together. The glue is actually going to hold it together. So what we want to do is start assembling it. And I need a board. One second. Alright, so when we're going to assemble this, we're actually going to start with our stars first. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we can't blow a brad all the way through. We are going to stack the brads and stack all of the boards with this right here. So, there's the top. So we're going to put this upside down. So the very first one that's going to go across the bottom is going to be a white one. So I'm going to grab a white one. We're going to glue it and then nail it. So I got my premium wood glue, because that's what you guys deserve. You guys deserve the premium stuff. So we don't want to put a lot on this because we don't want it to ooze out. So we're just going to put a little dab. There we go. All right. You might want to see this. All right. So we're going to line it up. So what we're going to do now is actually going to keep going with the bottom here. So if this one was white, guess what the next one is? Red. That's right. Alright, so what I'm doing there is actually trying to even up the top a little bit. It's alright, keep going. So now we're going to do a white. So it's going to be white, red, white, red, white, red. So basically 3 whites and 3 reds. Alright, well there you go. We have the stars and stripes. Now this, I'm going to wait for this to get completely dry, and then I'm going to hit it with some light sandpaper to try to rough it up a little bit. This is kind of, it's a little bright, for my liking. So we're going to, oh wait, I almost forgot. We need to have the post side of it. Let's glue that on. There we go. Now we have the stars and stripes. I think it looks alright. I think it came out alright. It's a little shiny, but we're gonna go ahead and fix that here in a minute. So we're just gonna take some, maybe like some 300 or something like that, and just kind of lightly sand it down. Maybe do it by hand just to rough it up a little bit, just knock off the shine a little bit. And then we're gonna hit it with some Topsom water seal just to waterproof it. Sometimes you want to put it outside, you want to put it out on your deck. So just that light little sanding actually brought the shine down just a little bit. It's not huge, but it's enough. So now let's seal it and be ready for one of you guys to pick up. There we go. All right, once that dries, it actually should not be so shiny, I hope. All right, well, stars and stripes are pretty much done. It is ready to go out to one of you. All you have to do is subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, then you're already into the giveaway. So on July 4th, 2021, I'm going to go through all the subscribers. I'm going to pick one randomly and then try to get up with you. Hopefully your email is accurate. If it's not, I'm going to keep putting on these videos until you contact me. Go ahead and subscribe, kick back, relax, and wait to be the winner. Check out some of the other videos and see which one you like, see which one you don't like. Let me know. Give me some feedback of what you want to see and what you don't want to see. And we will try to accommodate as many people as possible. So until then, enjoy it, have fun, and just get out there and build something. I did this in an afternoon. It's not quite finished yet, but give me a couple days and it will be finished. So anyway, take it easy, have fun. Catch you later.